there is a very serious thing going on regarding postpartum psychosis that does happen, and I cannot discount that. But we're going to get into this specific act that happened, the whole trial that's been going on. I'm going to give my point of view, but I would just start it off with the people that we encounter every day. Some people are not exactly right in the head, and I think that we should give compassion to everyone, but we also need to keep people accountable and hold them accountable to their actions and accountable to what they say. We're also going to dive into, switching gears a little bit, we're going to dive into Tim Curry, who passed away today. I just wanted to touch on that because he was a monumental actor, and I want to kind of delve into his career and his life. And also Roman Yompolskiy, who was on Patrick Bet-David's show. He got into AI and the avalanche that is coming our way and where we're going to go forward. But starting off with the Lindsay Clancy aspect of this and the women that are standing with her and her supporting her, it's actually been kind of scary because, like I said, you would think that, oh yeah, these are just crazy liberal women that are out there, but that's not really the case. There's some of them like that, but I would say any woman that you encounter is going to immediately, more than likely, side with Lindsay Clancy. And I think it's a matter of empathy that women have a tight knit, like they understand what other women go through because they recognize that in themselves. And it is the difference between the sexes, between male and female. We are wired differently. But first of all, I want to take a look at this event, these women standing outside this organized rally that took place, and this has been happening across the nation. A lot of people are calling it out, which I think we should call these things out, obviously. But just taking a look at it from this vantage point, it's kind of scary when you think about it, even though it looks nice on the surface.
I originally organized it because there was just one day in court that Lindsay was in shambles, and I couldn't stop thinking about her.
For people to start paying attention to mental health.
Yeah, we had hundreds of people here at the courthouse
and this
today,
has happened all over, not just
women
here.
and men dressed in pink in support of Lindsay and to raise awareness for postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and, mental health crisis all over the world.
It was wonderful to see so many women come together to support such a wonderful cause. And for me, being here is important because the Massachusetts healthcare system, failed Lindsay. She reached out for help multiple times. She told them that she was having thoughts of harming her children and harming herself, and she was turned away countless times at countless locations.
So right there, it just seems like this is like normal people and primarily women that are standing behind this woman, Lindsay Clancy. And I get that. I understand, because if you have that feminine characteristic, even a man, you're a man's man, but you sometimes get in touch with your feminine side, I guess. And I think when you get in touch with your feminine side, this might sound harsh, but you kind of check your mind at the door. And you do. And this is like with women, they are wired differently. They're to nurture, they're to take care of. They're the best with children, the best with taking care of people. And we're just wired differently. And I think that any guy that's not doesn't come to this with a careful, on guard stance, he might buy into this crap. It is crap. And it's that they're hijacking this thing that this woman did that was horrendously evil, which we are all capable of doing. So it's the matter of, we cannot excuse it just because we understand and we can relate to, but for the grace of God, there go I. We still got to call things out. Otherwise, we're going to devolve into degeneracy and calling what is evil good and what is good evil. We have to keep that line of distinction, because this is what blends it, and people don't know what to believe. When we start just changing the whole narrative and standing behind this woman, making her the focal point, as opposed to her children their lives were ended. And we forget about them when we focus in on her, and this is all about female pride, just focusing on this awareness of just excusing irrational behavior because it's postpartum depression, which it is a serious thing, but we can't excuse that. Because this is like, if it was just this thing where we talked about, oh, we do need to raise awareness and we need to be careful about this. But this is like, women are posting things of like, we understand you, Lindsay. We're on the edge too. We could do the same thing ourselves. It's like almost like, and just showing this like hostility and enmity that they have with their own children. And it has like kind of broken down and just like went off the tracks. It's not just of empathy and like we understand what you've done and it's terrible and we're going to call it out. But it's like, we're like standing behind you, that you're like, we're supporting you. We're with you through this all. We got to be able to call what's evil, evil, and what's good, good. Otherwise, it gets very dark very fast. So, and I know just in general, in talking with girls, you know, and I don't know about you, but like if you could say, oh, this is for the crazies out there, the ones that they're not in touch with reality, that they are just unhinged, that it's them, the ones doing it. It's not. Any girl, any woman you asked, like just off the cuff, just out of the blue, and you asked her, where do you stand on this? More than likely, they're going to immediately react and stand with Lindsay and say, I get it. I understand why she would have done it. I get it. And then they've even changed it to like trying to say everyone else did it as opposed to her. There's some giant conspiracy that was going on. Her husband was somehow involved. Her husband like put her up to it, and they put up these elaborate schemes to try to justify, well, she was just drugged. The big pharma did it, and somehow her husband was a man speaking into her mind. Do you do it? And then he ran off to the store. I know there's so much more involved, but it's like, it's this hysteria that people easily buy into, and it's primarily women. And guys, if they're not careful, they are easily going to be sucked into it as well. But it's like, it is the difference between a female brain and a male brain. Man's brain is like more logical, I would say. Like, generally is more logical. It's we think things through better than women, obviously. But like women, like they have different characteristics that are much greater than men. We are wired differently. We're compatible with each other. We complement each other. And I think so many people are sometimes scared to admit that, or they immediately like shriek and so offended like that you would say that. It's not to demean and say women are terrible at this thing. There's a lot of things that women are a lot better than men at. And even things that guys should be better, women sometimes are better, and they get put into roles that they not necessarily should be. And I think that's the difference. And I think that if we're not able to call things the way they are, and I just think that a lot of girls, like rational, reasonable women, that if they look into this case and they start watching it, they're not even looking at the facts. They're not looking at evidence or what supports what. It's more, I can understand emotionally what this woman was going through, and I can relate because we have like, everybody has those weird kind of vibe, those weird vibes that you have in you that you might lash out and do something, or you see yourself doing something, but then there's that something in you that restrains that. It's like if we acted on every impulse, that would be extremely bad. It would be wrong. And I think men can actually maybe think things through clearer in a crisis moment than a woman can. And I think that this is a crisis moment right now because women are buying into this hook, line, and sinker easily. I'm not just saying this. This is like how it is, because I've had conversations with people that a woman that I would not expect at all, like in bringing up this conversation about this case and about what's happening here and what all transpired and what do you think happened. And because it's so clear cut that she did it, but it's people sympathize so much that they're willing to change the circumstances, change the facts to relate to make it relatable to what they would do in that situation. So they change everything because so they can make it make sense. And so they throw the guy into it. He's the one who really did it because he must be evil. He just looks evil. He has these vibes or whatever. Where it's just like our mind has just been melted. Like, and I don't mean to be sexist. I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything. I was so shooken by the fact that a woman that I think that has a reasonable mind and does have reasonable mind would be immediately sympathize and say that, oh, there's something more going on. I don't necessarily agree with the overarching narrative that what happened, that even though she's admitted she killed her children, even though the lawyers admitted, everyone's agreeing that she did, but somehow there's something more secretive going on that she really didn't. That it was really something put her into a state of psychosis. Maybe her husband wasn't involved. Maybe her husband is the one who actually did it, and just lumps all this, like it becomes gobbledygook and doesn't make sense. And it's tough to like say these things because in our culture, everything's so opposed to this and to this idea of like, well, men can think more logical. And in certain instances, men have a brain for like high degrees of stress and in crisis moments that they're going to react. I think that's why we are built for war, and women are built to take care of the home, take care of the families, take care of the children. This is not enough, like, shouldn't be an offensive thing, but this is like the way that we are designed. And it's not to say that girls can't step into moments of war and step up where guys are not stepping up. They certainly have the ability, and sometimes better than men, but that's just not the way that we're designed and the way that things are supposed to play out. That's not the way that things are supposed to actually happen. And I think that a lot of times we just fall into this, well, we're all just equal. Everybody, girls, guys can do the same things as each other. You know, we're the same, you know, and we can cross over. We can be, if a guy wants to become a girl, he can become a girl. If a girl wants to become a guy, he become a guy. It's like these things, it just shows that like a snapshot of where we are as a society in America. So there's so much going on with this, and I see it differently probably than a lot of people out there of what's happening with Lindsay Clancy and the whole, because it's not even just her. It's not just this horrific tragedy that happened, but it's just these onslaughts, these massive mobs of women that are immediately going with her and standing with her and like, I'm supporting her. Because it's like they don't have the mind to like, we understand you did something terrible, but we still got to keep you accountable. It's like they're just lumping it in like, we stand with Lindsay. We support her. You know, whatever happens, we're with her. As opposed to being able to compartmentalize and like distinguish between, yeah, there was probably things involved. Maybe she shouldn't have been on certain medications. Maybe she should have been on different medications. But she did. We cannot change the fact she did something very evil because she gave into that, whatever that voice in her that told her to go and kill her children. She surrendered to it, which we all have those impulses. We all have the things that are on our mind, the evil devil on our shoulder telling us to do something. And it's like, at what point you got to resist it and you got to fight it no matter what. And it's like, we can't excuse and say, just because you're crazy, doesn't mean you deserve, that you can't be held accountable. And I think that that's where our culture is at. That's where a lot of women are at and a lot of guys buy into, because a lot of guys that just get into this, that stand with this, it's like, they're just like checking their whatever, their manhood at the door so that they can stay appealing to women and to other like weak males that are out there. They just want to like stay appealing. They don't want to lose. It's all about their ego to them. It's not about what's real and rational. So it's like these guys that just, they're almost women themselves that go along with this, that like, you go girl, and they're going to stand with women who like abortions, where like the same thing. That's what it goes down to. Like, the women are going down this road where they're just like, man, they're like revealing like almost a certain level of judgment that is happening on our country. And this isn't all women. It's not all men. It's it's different. It's just, it's like just showing like the period in history that we are at in this moment in time, because it's like all coming out. And it's like, you realize like, maybe the ancients had it right. Maybe we shouldn't allowed women to do everything that America is allowed to do, because that does seem like that we've went off the rails in that aspect. It's It's harming our culture. It's like if the women that are supporting Lindsay Clancy and standing for her are the same women that could go out and vote and can go out and do things that just like maybe the patriarchy was a good thing. Maybe we should get a little bit closer and back to that. This shouldn't be like a harmful like thing to say, but people like it's women that are just completely unhinged and lost at this point that are just going to be offended by it. Whereas I think this is the reality. There's certain things that men should be doing that women shouldn't be doing. Obviously, that shouldn't be a question. That shouldn't be a question. It shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. It should be obvious, you know? And there should be things that women do that guys don't do, obviously. So this is just, it's been a revealing moment in our society. What is this whole, because it's called the crazies, the crazy women, because we cannot lose sight of this. And in a weird way, like all the women are crazy. All of them are a little bit hysterical. And it's like they almost need to be brought back to reality, even the most reasonable, rational ones, because the only ones that are even standing up and saying and opposing what all these crazy women are doing and supporting Lindsay Clancy, I'm betting they didn't just come to it by themselves. They were probably informed and really sat down and talked to probably by their husband, probably by by a man that had a more rational, logical mind to say, like, this is evil. We cannot, like, it's not that, like, she's cast from, of God's love or anything. Like, the Lindsay Clancy has no chance of entering heaven or anything like that. She's going to hell forever, and that, like, she did something evil, but everybody's capable of doing, but we cannot excuse the fact that she did something evil. And I think that the women are buying it. They're just revealing this dire situation that we are in as a country. And these women have a lot of major platforms, and they're out there. They have a major influence. And it's like, it's scary because it's like you see that America went very wrong in certain ways. It's not to say that like women can't do like some things, because they are supposed to do some things. We have, like, this shouldn't be controversial. That's what's so weird about it. But like, even like if you went into a church and said something like this, it would be so controversial. Well, women can do exactly what a man can do. Well, they can obviously be a pastor of a church. They can teach or whatever over man, have authority over man, except the Bible says the exact opposite of that. And we have to reinterpret Paul. That really wasn't Paul saying that. Or I believe Jesus, but I don't believe Paul. They have to like just change the whole thing to fit their 21st century worldview. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's not necessarily like the whole case with Lindsay Clancy. It's a horrific, terrible tragedy, and a justice should be served. We still at the same time want the best for every person involved, even Lindsay Clancy. Like, we still even want the best for her. And if you're a voice that is saying, oh, she deserves the death penalty, which yes, she does deserve the death penalty. If someone kills someone, they deserve the death penalty. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that's like the divine command, If someone kills someone, they should be sentenced to death. Like, that's kind of how it is. But like, our justice system is going to carry it out and work it out how they work it out. But there's the difference between judgment in this world as opposed to judgment for eternity. And if you're just calling for blood, just to call for blood, you're kind of losing sense with God. Well, I mean, there's no other way to say it, with God, because you're buying into your own emotions and your own feelings, your own like levels of animosity and hatred. Because you hate yourself, you just want someone else to suffer and burn. You go to hell. You can die or whatever. Like that's kind of like the vibe that it becomes. And I think that that's where a lot of people get to. They get into this and it's just all about emotion, get my talking points, get my things out there, as opposed to just settling back and saying, some things are seriously wrong. It's not just, oh, guys are acting a fool and acting stupid, which that is happening, but just this thing that like all the women are bought into this. Like, I'm just so caught off guard by the most reasonable, rational women buying into this and just and standing with her. And I think it does take a man's mind and a man's input to help reframe and refocus the structure of the conversation of this. Because it is like the women are like children in a sense. They are like children. They need to be taught, they need to be taught how to think. But it's not to say that girls can't, like, they have a voice of certain things that the guys don't. They see a certain angle. They're so in step and in tune with things that guys don't have a clue. Women are extremely observant. They have heightened senses. They're like almost super women. Like this isn't just to like try to like cozy up to like on the good side of the women. Like if you're a guy and you understand, you're all in touch with, you're not completely just disconnected from women. You can see that like there are like superhuman strengths that women have. And it's like, we got to call both things out. But man, like there is a reason that the guys are the head of women and it's not vice versa. There is a reason why it is that way, because guys should be leading and women should be following. And that's the kind of way. And we've just turned everything and flipped it, switched it on different spheres and put it like just got it all backwards. That's why things are going so unhinged and off the tracks. So this has just been a crazy moment in our time, because if you've been like watching the timeline on X or anything like that, women are posting crazy things about their own children, about how they see their own children. It's like, it's disgusting. And I mean, I was just even talking to my wife about this and just showing a video of this woman like talking about. I was walking by. She's walking by a wood chipper, and she's like, what's keeping me from not throwing my child in the wood chipper? You know, I understand Lindsay Clancy or something like this postpartum stuff is real, which is like, yes, I get that. There is a sense that like we can't control these emotions that just overtake our mind, you know, but we can't just say, give into it, girls, do whatever you want, go for it. We got to say like, no, certain things are evil. And if you're having thoughts of killing your children, that's an evil thought. You got to call it evil. You got to resist it and not glorify it. And I think a lot of women out there are glorifying this. And the ones that are just so all hopped up on abortions and they just want just child sacrifice out the wazoo, a lot of it is they want some evil demonic women. They want child sacrifice, and that's through abortion. And it's not even necessary. They'll say, "Oh, I've had so many abortions." Really, what they want to do is they want to get to the naive women that are just going to buy into this, and they want them to be sacrificing their children because they want to bring them and drag them down to their level. Because there are demonic forces that are pushing this, and I think we got to call things out as they are. And this has just been so enlightening, so eye opening. But it's not going to change a thing. I not one woman's mind is probably going to be changed like immediately. It's like I'm just like I said, I'm just a little shaken because I like the one that I would think that would be like obviously that it was wrong, you know, and she killed her children. Like it's like they rationalize it and just they make it think like, well, maybe there was something deeper going on. And I think that what I would say about this is, it's not to say that all these women are just evil by doing this, because there's a lot of them that really are like, they think something more was going on. They really do, and they want to try to defend her for that because they just think that she really wasn't the one. She couldn't have done that. And because they have such a good nature that they think, how could a mother do that to her children? And they're trying to excuse it. They're trying to rationalize her out of it. But then there's other ones that are just like, they're using it as further, like it's almost like, I don't want to murder my children, but I don't, if I wanted to, I would like to be able to, kind of thing. That's kind of that's kind of the vibe a lot of this throws out there. It's not that it's like they just want the freedom to be able to do whatever because like my body, my choice kind of thing, whatever. Whereas it's a different. It's not your body. It's inside your body, but it's not your body. It's not your life. It's a life inside you. And I think that guys get this, and it's the girly guys that get in there and they just get, because they want to be cozied up to like, and they don't want to be shunned by the crazy female community that's out there that will shun them or whatever, that will just attack them viciously. So there's so much there going on, but I want to switch gears a little bit because I do want to get into the Roman Yompolskiy and the AI future. So I don't know if you know too much about Roman Yompolskiy. He's, first of all, got a pretty cool name, but he's the guy that has seen the future of AI and what's going to mean. And the avalanche is coming. He thinks that we're going to be completely decimated. It's like almost a Terminator style, Skynet taking over, and that there's nothing we can do to stop it. He's all about like that. He wants to do everything to get out there and not have it move forward, to slow it down as much as possible. But he almost makes it like it's inevitable. It's going to happen. So he talks about this super abundant abundance that's coming, which Elon brings up as well. This future reality. But then he's also like, we're in a simulation. This is a simulation. It's almost a virtual world that we are inside of. And I know that's becoming more and more popular. But this is him talking about that future, like there's going to be super abundance, which I hope that is. I hope that is the case. Patrick Bet-David, he pushes back like, could that really be the case because we see that from the beginning, we've seen that there's an evil nature inside people that we could come to this point where there is this superabundance. Rather, it's almost like there's going to be somebody that's going to do something evil that's going to stop that or just claim it all for themselves.
As long as there is drive, ambition, ego, pride, competition, vengeance, as long as there is that, this utopian thing you're selling is not possible, because man has a tendency. 2,000 years ago, there was this fruit, or a few thousand years ago when they ate this apple thing, and their creator said, don't do it, and the girl convinced the other guy to eat it. From that moment on, we have a lot of weird emotions that's been passed down from generation to generation. Do you think we can handle utopia without any competition?
You see, even God couldn't control his biological robots.
No.
Telling you.
But what do you say to that?
It's a very large universe. There is no shortage of resources. Sometimes people fight because they have the same limited shared resource for two different people. If everyone gets their own, there is no fighting. Notice what happens then. Two fighting groups move somewhere else.
Yeah.
And there is abundance. They stop fighting.
Do you believe in God?
It depends on how you define it.
How do you define it?
Simulation. We live in a simulation. There is great programmer, could be AI, could be future generations. This is a virtual world.
There's a lot to say about the AI avalanche that is coming, and I hope it comes, because I think the different viewpoint is that everybody gets out there and they're so scared. Like I think people are either embracing it, like it could be like this golden age, it could be perfect, like everybody could have super abundance of everything, or it could be like the robots kill us or whatever, and they take all of our jobs. It's like, okay, I get that. I don't care. I'm still to the point where, like, how could you not love the idea of AI coming in and just like changing things up, making things better, even if it went into like Armageddon style, like we're like fighting against the machines. How could you not love that? I mean, seriously, but it's like, I feel like I'm the only one that sees that. It would be like kind of cool. It would be cool. Like, I mean, we got to think about our children, like, okay, I get, I have children. I want the best for them, but it's like, this world is not everything in the first place. This world is not like, we're going to live here forever. We're going to somehow live forever. Nobody wants to really live forever. I mean, can you imagine living in this world forever? It would be extremely awful. And like, so we're not going to come up with this certain thing, this pill that we are going to be able to live forever, which would be almost hell on earth if that did happen. I've never understood why, because Roman is like, he makes it, this is his kind of gig. It's his stick that he sees that this crazy, the AI is going to come in and take over, and we don't stand a chance. They're going to wipe out everything, take all of our jobs, take all of our life, just take over everything. It's just it's an inevitable thing that's going to happen, which it might or might not. I don't know. But either way, it would be cool. It would be cool that if AI steps in, if we create this and it becomes this super abundant life, everybody has more than they need, which even that, like, it's not going to be this utopia. We already kind of know it's not really going to be a utopia. Even if it could, like, even if like best circumstance, like what Elon says, that it's going to be so awesome. Everybody's going to have high income. Money's not going to matter. Everybody's going to have more than they ever need. Even if that was the case, like the human condition is not going to allow that. People are not going to allow that. Somebody's going to still, like, we all are going to still have evil, sinful natures. Our hearts are evil. And it's like everybody should recognize that. It's like not that just Lindsay Clancy's evil or Adolf Hitler's evil. I'm good. Everybody's just deciding what they want to do. I'm just going to decide what I'm going to do today. I'm going to choose good or choose evil. I mean, there is a sense that we do that, but it's like, if not for God's grace, we would all choose evil. And it's like, so even if we do come up with this super abundance life and AI becomes awesome, we have more than we ever need. It's really not gonna be like that. We're not gonna create heaven on earth. We're not actually gonna do that. And I think that the fear is that what people are saying, like, we're so scared of that there could be AI could step in and take our jobs, and we'll have nothing. We'll have no purpose. We'll have no purpose or what to do. When it's like, to ask the regular guy that goes out there, a regular girl that's like going out to work every day or going out to their job. Some maybe love their jobs, but the majority of people don't. It's like, it's a necessary evil that they're having to do every day. They're not like loving it. It's not like they're having it their way. It's not the best. It's not the greatest. So it's like, how could you not love the idea of AI coming in and just sweeping through, possibly making everything better or possibly wanting to kill us? Either way, it would be fun. I mean, like, how am I the only one seeing this? Like, am I like the only, like the one that the stages, I'm on the stage and everybody else is just really watching, and everybody else is just like a figment of my imagination. My consciousness is just seeping out there, and they're like, I'm in a dream state, and they're all kind of looking at me, but they're all kind of doing their own thing. I mean, do y'all ever feel like that? Like, you start thinking about something, and then somebody else starts bringing it up and talking about it, or they're talking about the news, or your friends are talking about it, or your people that you encounter are talking about it. But really, you're the one who initiated it. You're the originator. I mean, is it just me? It feels like that happens quite a bit. And it's like, are you really like, you love this humdum, rigmarole, mundane BS that we all live in each day, week after week? I mean, who's actually loving it? I mean, unless you're maybe Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, but even then, it's like, even if you achieve this level of success or money or whatever, or value in life, or you have a great family or whatever it is, it like, no matter how great it gets, there's still that sense of like, this is not right. This world's not right. I'm not right. Something's really wrong. Something's really wrong going on. Like, it doesn't matter how good things seem to get. It's not what we were made for. Is anyone else getting that drift? I feel like we all deep down know it, but we just see what other people are saying, and we start spouting the same talking points, spouting the same things, because that's what's acceptable. Like, that's kind of like what happens over and over. And people are so scared about this AI thing, they need to say the right thing. We got to be against data centers, or we got people's jobs. Their jobs are going to have no purpose. Are you serious? Like, really? Are you really thinking this, or are you like put there by China to just say these things, to stop these things, to act like we're slowing it down? Which, I mean, all this technology was probably given to us by probably not aliens, but probably something supernatural or outside of our natural world. Like, don't you all get this? Like, a lot of these things that we've somehow discovered and we're just doing, we're just using, they probably were given to us by something out there. Some people might have created things, but like, just this intelligence that we have, that we somehow stumbled upon in the last 200 years, that and now we're just like going like gangbuster style, like all these thousands of years before, but now we immediately have this ability, the internet and everything's just speeding up like exponentially faster. Like, this is like, how am I the only one that like feels like this? How am I the only one that's saying this? Are people so like inside the matrix that you're just like, this is your life? This is what you love? You're tied to? Like, why would we at all possibly slow down? I mean, I guess if you're seeing it like AI is the equivalence of nuclear bombs or bombs in general. You're thinking that that's what's going to happen. It's like if we feed it, it's just going to blow up on us or whatever. I mean, I don't necessarily see it, and we paint these like AI agents like they're going to somehow they're going to inherit this evil nature that we as humans have. Rather, it's like these AI things that they're tools. They're not conscious. And they're not really going to reach a level of consciousness. I mean, unless like Satan gives it to them or God gives it to them, you know? I mean, either way, it's always from God, even if it's through Satan, you know? God's the one who allows it. Satan's the one who does the evil things. God is the only one. He is perfect and good. And that's the truth. That's the truth. But it's like these things aren't going to, like, God has to breathe life into it and breathe a actual like consciousness into it. Otherwise, it's just going to be the ones and zeros, making decisions that way. Predictability. Like, that's how with these AI things, they don't have the emotions, the motivations that we have as humans. So it's like to say that we're so scared that they're going to take over, like, that's really kind of crazy. That's really kind of nutso. And it's really kind of just like you're feeding your own conspiratorial mind that would happen. It's not actually going to happen. And we're probably not going to reach this major golden age either. But it's like, if there's even a possibility, why not push the pedal to the metal? That's where I'm at. Why not go like forward? And it's so annoying when I hear people just whine about, we need to slow down. We need regulations. Slow it down. That's how it's annoying. It's stupid. It's dumb. That's where I'm at. Like, so I mean, Roman, I love his whole thing. That's his shtick. That he's out there. He's pushing that forward. That we're so scared. You know, there's the future, or like in 5 years, everything's going to be just decimated. Like, this is going to happen. Like, if it does, awesome. If it doesn't, that sucks. But like, I didn't think it was probably going to happen in the first place. But if it does, awesome. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Jeff. Who are the guys out there? Elon Musk, Sam Altman or whatever, and then the Claude guy and all those. Go for it, you know? But I do think that we should set up that like the American citizens should get the dividends. We should become part owners or receive that. There should be governmental regulations put in that humans, like American citizens, receive that. I mean, it starts with American citizens and then it can maybe flow down to the rest of the world if we get there or not. All right. But that's where my head's at when I see all this about like being so scared about like AI. I mean, either way, it will be cool. Either way, it will be fun. Let's go. Don't slow down. Don't slow down. Go. All right. I do want to switch it up a little bit. I want to move into finally about Tim Curry and talk about him a little bit because this guy, he means a lot to a lot of people. And he passed away today at the age of 80. So this Tim Curry, and I think his most notable like role he played was in Rocky Horror. And I never saw that one. But the one that I always knew him from was either Home Alone 2 or from It, playing Pennywise the clown. Him and that Asgard guy that played the newer It, Pennywise. Both of them are phenomenal. Both of them are great at that role. And it's a terrifying, scary role. I think it's frightened a lot of children. Frightened a lot of kids. I mean, the children that it frightened are now adults from the 90s that we're terrified, we're horrified. You know, by this man, and I also loved him in the movie Clue. He was awesome in the movie Clue. But Tim Curry, he passed away at the age of 80 today, and I just saw like a video of him like a little while ago, towards the end of his life, of him. That's him in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I never saw that one. It always looks kind of weird. I don't know if I'd want to see that. But this is what I knew him by. There he is. Pennywise, and that's it. You see the videos out there of him on set. He's smoking a cigarette, like when they're kind of just when they're not doing. That's kind of a weird picture right there on the right. Okay, all right. So either way, he was a phenomenal person. I loved him, his role, his acting. He was funny. He was scary. He had like the mouth, the smile, like from Home Alone 2, and then also even It, playing Pennywise the clown. He was a unique person. He was a wonderful person, a great person. Did a lot of major amazing things. I respect people that act because it is such a difficult thing to do. It is such a tough role to play. It is such a because they make it look so easy. That's why I respect people that actors, actresses. Yeah, it's a very tough thing, and they make it look easy. It's like they were doing something that like almost they were made and created to do. So I respect Tim Curry, and I rest in peace. I hope he's with the Lord. I don't know his heart. I don't know his beliefs, but I do hope the best for him. But all right, so I want to just finish off with, at the center of the Lindsay Clancy case are 3 children who should still be alive. They cannot speak for themselves, organize a rally, or tell us what was taken from them. Whatever the jury decides about their mother's criminal responsibility, our culture still has to decide whom it places at the center of this tragedy. Maybe Lindsay Clancy was profoundly ill. Maybe many of the women supporting her recognize their own struggles in her story. That deserves an honest conversation. But compassion should never require us to look away from innocent victims or become afraid to make moral judgments. And in a strange way, all 3 stories today ask the same question: what does it mean to remain human? Tim Curry reminds us that life is temporary, but what we create can outlive us. Roman Yompolskiy warns that humanity may be creating something more powerful than itself. And the Clancy case reminds us that intelligence, progress, and compassion mean very little if they become separated from truth and responsibility. We should move boldly into the future, but we cannot leave our moral judgment behind, because compassion without truth is not compassion. Progress without wisdom is not progress. And a society that forgets its most innocent victims has lost its way. Or we'll leave it at that. My name is Brandon Fogel. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, smash the follow button, leave a comment, smash the like button, and share it with everybody you know. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day.